First question, I have opinion because I believe. Where do opinions and belief come from? Is belief an illusion? Can belief in Buddha also be an illusion? So what you're saying is, you have opinion, you have a belief in your mind. Where do this opinion and belief come from? Well, if such is the case, then I believe in the Buddha. Does that mean believing in the Buddha is also an illusion? Good questions, and there's a little logic in there. One leads to the other. Where does opinions and belief come from? Certainly, opinions and belief do not come from externalities. It's come from your own mind. But I can say, no, I'm being affected. I'm being affected by what's surrounding me. I'm being affected by all these circumstances working on me. Yes, you're being affected. But some people are not affected. And how come some people are affected? Opinion and belief, if you want to know where opinions and belief come from, you have to understand what your mind is structured. The mind basically contains three things. This is in line with modern psychology too. The first one is mano, the thinking, rational mind. The thinking mind, that's the first part. We call it the mano. The second part is the emotional mind. We call it chitta. In the Pali language, chitta, emotional. The third, vijnana, is the Pali word. In the Sanskrit language, is vijnana. Vijnana is the perception. So basically, you have perception, you have emotion, and you have rational thinking. If we just take two into perspective first, because perception we know, because all these eyes, ears, nose, we perceive, right? We perceive. That's a natural, automatic, spontaneous perception. That is easy to understand. How about the thinking and the rational mind? The thinking mind is something like this. When I have never seen fire before, I touch a hot object and I get burned, then I know that I cannot touch fire. I cannot touch a hot object. So the thinking mind accumulates a lot of learning since avidya, since when you were a baby. Because your mom teach you, don't touch fire, and you automatically know that a flower is soft, a flower is beautiful. You automatically know from your learning accumulated from since kindergarten that certain things is pleasant, certain thing is unpleasant, and you know it by touch, by senses, by hearing, by smelling. That's from the perception that you learn. You don't touch fire. You want to drink when you're thirsty. I'm thirsty, I want to drink. I'm hungry, I want to eat. I listen to some sound, it's pleasant. It gives me a pleasant feeling. I want to hear the sound again. All this is the thinking, the learning part that everybody learns since birth. And there are some learning which is in concept. What is this concept? Say, every time I'm hungry, my mom gave me some milk and I drink it and I find satisfying, very satisfying. So I know that I have to get food to satisfy my hunger. So I know that whenever I'm hungry, I'm looking for food. And food is good for me. So that's the thinking part. And the other part is, the teacher told us that if you forgot to bring your lunch, you can't just take your lunch box from your classmate, because that's equivalent to stealing. The teacher says, don't steal your neighbor's lunch box. It's not right, because if you steal his box of food, then he wouldn't have anything to eat. So you cannot steal. So there are certain thinking is accumulated in the family, we're learning in the family, in your interaction. There's certain thinking you learn at school, there's certain thinking you learn in the society, and all this learning accumulated into opinions and concepts. So these are the concepts and opinions that you learn. We just talk about the dependent origination, the 12 links. So avidya, with being a baby, you get into sankhara, you get the vijnana, you get the salayatana, you get in, various other things. That's the reason why we have to learn the paticca samuppada, in knowing this is the questions that should be asked after learning a little bit about paticca samuppada. Your opinions will form based on your background, based on your education, and based on all those you are in contact, they were teaching you. So these are the background information. You could have formed a bad opinion. You could have thought that when I'm hungry, I can just take any food I want. I don't care about my neighboring classmate. I just take it. So that's a bad learning from someone who didn't tell you stealing is not right, even though they were hungry. These opinions will form if we use psychology from two very basic psychological concepts. One is the cognition, the other cognitive. Cognition is how to perceive, how to receive. The other is affective. Affective is affectionate, arousing emotions. These are the two parts working to you. And unfortunately, our emotional mind is always in control of the rational thinking mind. Why is that? Why is our emotional mind is always in control of the rational thinking mind? Because we were born from previous birth. And in the previous birth, you also accumulated the karmic thinking. In previous birth, you believe in killing. In the previous birth, you believe in stealing. You brought yourself karmic energy from previous incarnations. You brought it, and you were also influenced by it. Those were the past experiences, not only of this life, but previous lives. So you were surrounded, you were affected, you were influenced by a lot of past experiences, not only of this life or previous life too. So sometimes you can think that a baby is born with an opinion, although he could not express the opinion. Certain baby is more obstinate than the other baby. Certain baby cry more often than the other babies. Certain baby were born with the tender loving attitude, and some baby were born with cruelty attitude. So we're all different because of our karmic structure in the past. Well, forget about this accumulated long time past, about this life. These lives were born based on your education, your background, your family, everything counted to form opinion and belief. And this opinion and belief, unfortunately, are always mixed with emotion. Some of these opinions were mixed with greediness, jealousy, hatred, anger, selfishness. This opinion were being influenced, affected by emotions. Is to believe in illusion? Sure, they're illusion. Because they will form because of all these conditions that will make sure that influence you. Because you were influenced from previous life. And not only are beliefs and opinions delusory, our existence is delusory, is an illusion. How do we know that an existence is an illusion? How do we see things? How do we see everything? We see things, we think things exist, right? Existence. How does the eye, just take an example because I can take, time will go on and on explaining this. How do our eyes see things to form an opinion to form an image. Can you see in the dark? No. You cannot see in the dark, in complete darkness. If you can see things in complete darkness, raise your hands. Be honest. You can, right? So we can see in darkness. We can only see in the brightness of the sun or the lamp of the lights. So we know that seeing concerns with light, right? How does light form? Let's talk about science. People who are scientists, how does light form? Light is a kind of electromagnetic waves. Light gives out waves to you, right? Light waves. And this light wave is like electromagnetic waves. And these waves come in the form of what? Frequencies, right? Frequencies. A frequency strikes you, you can see it. Without frequency, without light waves, you can't see it. In other words, without light, you can't see anything. So even if you have your eyes, now remember, we're talking about just one thing, about existence, about illusion, about the thinking of existence. So I can see is because my eyes perceive waves, lights. And these frequencies comes in usually in the light of a rainbow, like 7 colors. Red, yellow, orange, green, indigo, violet, you know. We can only see 7 colors. You cannot see more than 7 colors. Do you understand? Well, if you don't believe me, get check into Google. How do you see? You can only see lights that comes in 7 colors. You cannot see ultraviolet light. There are certain lights. You think your eyes are all wonderful? Our eyes are very limited. We only can see 7 colors. So when this 7 color, when you see, actually your eyes are not seeing. When I look at you, I'm not seeing you. I only see the formation of 7 colors put together to form a pattern of you. You're not there. You're not you. I only see you as a form of colors. And when this color get into my mind, then all of a sudden this color is conjured up into a picture. If I see David, so David get me a picture of David. And David has that particular picture. David wouldn't be Ellen. If I see David, I said that's Ellen, then that means the picture is not right. So it's a combination of colors that form the image. And that image exists in my mind. That's existence. That's the existence of an image, not of you. You not exist. You only exist as an image in my mind. And this image of my mind, I insist on this existence, so that's existence. The same applies to you. Everything you see, every sight you see is only color, not actual existence. But nobody will believe it. Because you are you, you're a flower. How can I see you have no existence? I remember there was many years ago, there was some other religion, people of other religions, they were criticizing the Buddhist religion and say, our religion is better than yours. Well, how come your religion is better than me? Because we can go to heaven. We have a happy place to go to. And you Buddhists, you were talking about nirvana. What is nirvana? Nirvana is to die. You can't get nirvana until you died. We have hope because we can go to heaven, but when you die, you cannot go to heaven. But there was a very intelligent monk who said, yes, nirvana is to die. Nirvana is not just to die, it's to die forever. You don't have to die again. You do not have to die again because you died it once. No more death. No more death for you. But you have to die all the time. Nirvana is to die and just die permanently. You think you exist but you don't have an existence because you only exist on all the combination of necessary conditions. That's why you exist. When the conditions are not there, you don't exist. This body has to die out. And you think we have an existence? We don't have an existence. That is paticca samuppada. Because we think we exist. And because we think we exist and we struggle for existence. We don't have existence. If you have true existence, you do not have to die. If your existence is true, you don't have to die. You don't depend on conditions to exist. You only have a temporary becoming. You only have a temporary, if you want to call it existence, it's existence. But this body will die out. You don't have an existence. Because we think we have an existence that we suffer. If you know that you don't have an existence, then you don't personalize your subjective experiences. Everything will subside. No more suffering. Because you don't attach to existence anymore. So talking about all this belief in illusions, Buddhism does not have to exist. Buddhism is not Buddhism. That's why it's called Buddhism. There is no Buddhism. When there's nirvana, what's the use of Buddhism? Buddhism is only for those who don't have nirvana. We don't need a road if you have the destination already. The road is not a destination. The road only leads you destination. You always think that you need a road. The road only leads you destination. All right, maybe I talk too much about this. I don't know if you understand what I mean. But nowadays you can always get into Google or some other places that you can get more information about. The existence is a delusion. Many monks said existence is a dream. We are living in a dream of existence. And one day that dream will end. And you go into another dream. A dream of existence. Only when we know we are in dream that we begin to enlighten ourselves. Otherwise we never know that we are in a dream. All right, next question. Could you please outline a meditation practice for laymen to practice introspection on paticca samuppada? Well, you can use paticca samuppada as an outline for introspection. But wait till you understand paticca samuppada. Then you can introspect on paticca samuppada. Then you know existence is a dream. Existence is not real. Only when you drop that dream, then you begin to walk on the path of enlightenment. Extremely important. That breaks your dream of existence. And when you have understood the concept, it's not enough. You only have conceptualized it. You have not cultivated it. You only know the words. That's why we could be expert of Buddhism, but we are still very egotistic. I could be just an expert. I can memorize all these. But I'm still egotistic because I haven't cultivated it. I haven't practiced it. I only look at the map. I've never been to Victoria. I memorize every step of the map. I become the GPS. You think the GPS knows how to get there? He only memorized it. He never know how to go to Victoria. Forget it. He even pronounced it wrong. If that lady on the GPS, you said, "Hey, what's your name?" "I'm Jeanette." "Do you know how to go to Victoria?" "What are you talking about? What's Victoria?" He does not know Victoria. But you walk out instructions. You drive on instructions. You got to Victoria. She does not know. She just memorized it. most of us have just memorized it. We're GPS. Everybody is a robot GPS. I'm a robot GPS. Doesn't help me. I don't want to be a robot. I don't want to be just a GPS. I want to get enlightened. I want to cultivate my path. So I could never say I'm an expert in Buddhism. Otherwise, I'm just a recipe storage guy, giving you all the recipes. I haven't even tasted the food myself. Have you ever seen me go into the kitchen? Because I don't want to be just looking at the recipe. I want to cook it out. So don't be a robot GPS. Be the practitioner of the GPS. Yeah, when you are practicing it, actually you are building up your introspection. Because look, why do we have lectures? Because every lecture, all the lectures are actually concepts. Every lecture is a GPS to you. But just having the GPS is not enough. You've got to drive. So, but automatically that's the reason why you need to come more often, you need to contact it, you actually need to study it. If you're near good friends, you'll be a good guy. If you're near bad friends, you're a bad guy. Very, very simple. So you always mix up with the bad guys, how can you be a good person? So as I've always said, the value of life, the first value of human life is to be good. You have to be a good person first. Out of all the animals, human being is a kind of animal. Of all the animals, only the human beings understand his own existence. What does that mean? Out of all the animals, the dog, a cat, a cow, whatever, of all the animals, only the human know uniquely their own existence. What do you mean by knowing existence? Or trying to know, to understand existence? Understanding existence means, oh, why am I exist in this world? What are my values? Where do I come from? Why do I exist? Why is exist more or less a suffering? Is there any happiness in existence? He thought about all these problems in existence, all about these ideas of existence. He think about it, he ponder on it, and in some cases he ruminate on the bad things about it, and he ponder on the good things about it. Human beings are the only person who try to understand or who have understood a little bit about his own existence. A dog, and other animals, they just, when they're hungry, they want to eat. When they're hungry, they want to hunt. When they attack, they want to kill. They want to defend. They don't know their own existence. They only exist for the purpose of existing. But how many humans are actually pursuing in depth about existence? We know the meaning of, try to know the meaning of existence, but how many people would really get in the depth and the subtlety of existence? The Buddha had. He explored into the ultimate core of the existence, and he found it, the essence of existence, the enlightenment of existence. Have you taken your first step? Probably you have. Then congratulations, you have taken your first step trying to understand your own existence, not just money, 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 house, car, materials. And because when we are looking for money and possessions, what do? You push off other people's existence. You create a lot of bad karma. Because you create a lot of bad karma, in the process of creating it, you suffer the consequences of the creation of the bad karma. Yeah, I don't know if I answered your questions. Definitely, is it when you're slowly actually you're learning it? Yes, that's right. You are slowly conceptualizing and learning it. But you always have to bring the concepts into your own perspective and meditate on it. That's the name of meditation. Meditation is not just keep quiet, cross your leg and watch your breath and you're thinking about nothing. Then that's what? There's just samadhi. There's just focus. There's no vipassana on it. There's no vipassana on it. There's no wisdom. There's no introspection. Remember, it's the 6 paths to the real meditation is counting, following, stabilization, and then introspection, purity, and returning. If you can't even focus, if your mind is always wandering without putting your mind back, your monkey is all over the place, you can't even teach your monkey to stand still. You have to first of all make your own monkeying mind standing still to listen to you, to listen to your own pondering, rumination inside, the introspection inside. By the way, don't look down on yourself. You're on your way. Not just for this lunch. You're on your way on introspection. How deep is your introspection? I don't know. You are on your way to introspection. Because, before, if you're interacting with people, if you feel that people is hurting you, now you can hold back, you can endure. You said something, it doesn't affect me. You said something that could infuriate me. If I were 30 years ago, I would have rebuked, I would have fought back. But now I know that there's just an externality that aroused my emotional mind. Well, why do I have to get my emotional minds all worked up? I mean, you're on your way to gradually improving. You're not fighting anymore with any guys, any people, because you know how to recede. You know how to step back. You know how to endure. You have more patience. You're on your way. It takes a lot of time to do that. Plus, are you working hard at it? Or you spend your time 70 and 30. 70 is still on worldly, temporal affairs like partying, music, art, whatever, and only 20 or 30 part on the Buddhist teaching. It depends on how hard you are, and in the Buddhist approach it's called viraya. Viraya, how much power you gather to learn it. Some people even gave up all the temporal duties to become a monk and a nun to concentrate on it, and some people haven't. Some people say, all these other things are not meaningful to me anymore. I want to concentrate on what I'm doing. This is what I'm concentrating in. I want to be ordained as a monk so that I can concentrating on it every day. I don't want to go to work every day, work for someone to make profit, to make money, and interacting with my colleagues and doing things that may not be the most crucial for me. I want to go this way, the spiritual way. If we measure your spirituality by that, you're still a layman. A layman is still a layman. You're not in depth in learning it. But I can tell you, some of those who become monk ordained and monk and nuns, sometimes they forgot their original purpose, and they haven't achieved too much too. There are also that kind of people. So we're all different.